Chair, ladies and gentlemen, by show of hands, who's here set themselves a challenge, but for one reason or another, you quit somewhere in the middle or towards the end? Anyone? 25th of January 2018, my birthday, I set myself a challenge that I was going to run 100 days. And the minimum was I was just going to wake up in the morning and run for just 10 minutes. If I run 20, 30, even better. But the minimum was just 10 minutes. So I started off every morning. I'll come out and start running. A month passed, and then around end of Feb 2018, some of you may remember, we had the heavy snow. This particular morning, when I woke up, I looked through my window, and guess what? That was heavy snow. Ding! My voice said to me, "Come, why even bother? Look at that snow. 6 o'clock in the morning? Are you kidding me?" And my missus next to me, warm duvet, just calm yourself back. And then boom, all of a sudden, a big loud voice. "Come. How are you going to inspire people to go after their goals and dreams when you can't even commit to your commitments?" Ooh, that voice sounded just like my mom. Except she was 1,000 miles away back in Africa. So wouldn't that be now? But guess what? It brought back memories of when we were kids. I don't know about you, but our African moms, once your mom told you to do something, you had to stick to it. Otherwise, you know how we next. In fact, it reminds me a day when there's a morning, so back home when you woke up in the morning, you had to do your activities like, going to fetch water, cleaning the compound. And this particular morning, I didn't want to come out of bed. And guess what? My mom came, stood to that door, and she didn't have to say a thing. And I got out of bed. So this particular morning, guess what? I came down the stairs, and I've got a long back garden. I said I'm not going on the roads today. So there I was in my back garden, running up and down. And as I peeped through the window, my neighbor was looking. He must have been thinking, is this guy crazy? 6 o'clock in the morning, running up and down. But this is what happened when I finished that run. I felt so ecstatic. For the simple reason that guess what? I'd come and done, and I'd gone out in that coldness and went on with my run. But one thing I learned that day is sometimes in the middle of challenges, when our voice kicks in, we listen to it. When things get hard, that's when we quit. And the rest is history. When I finally finished that day, I knew nothing would stop me because I conquered my negative voice. So how did these 100 days change my life? After my 100 days, that was on the 5th of May 2018, I said, how about I set myself even a bigger challenge, something that would dramatically improve the quality of my life. Some of you probably know, my greatest dream is to become a motivational speaker, which I'm pursuing. So I said to myself, I've always wanted to do my own motivational talks. Maybe I give myself another 100-day challenge. I knew it was not going to be easy. So what did I do? In fact, one of the ladies from the Speakers Club, Lisa, can testify to it. I called her in town and we went for a meeting and I gave her what I was going to do. I think my schedule was like in 4 weeks to start my talks, and Lisa said to me, no, Kam, you're going to need longer than that. Because I knew she'd been there, she'd done that before, so it was going to be something that I had to plan, what am I going to speak, how am I going to advertise, and guess what? I started brainstorming, and on 28th of July, 2018, I was able to start pursuing my dream of becoming a motivational speaker, where I went in Ipswich Library and set up my first motivational talks. Talk about the excitement. When I finished my first speech, I felt like I could just take over the whole world. You know that moment when you first pursue your dream and it feels so amazing. And since then, I've done so many things. And for me, my new year is actually turned into my birthday. Every birthday, I set myself a 100-day challenge. I know now you want to know what's the one I've just said, because my birthday, 25th of Jan. It's only just started. I might as well share it. Right now, my challenge is every day I have to do something for an hour. I set my alarm that's towards my goals and dreams. Maybe it's coming up with my speeches, anything that's contributing towards my goals and dreams. So, what's your challenge? Is it going for that marathon like so? Is it starting that dream business that you've been putting on and off for years? Is it going for a 100-day, maybe yoga challenge? I can't answer that question. Only you know within your heart of hearts what that challenge is. In fact, it reminds me of a quote from Les Brown, one of the greatest motivational speakers of all time. Thinking about that day when I woke up in the morning and I wanted to come out of bed. He said, if you want your life to be easy, do what's hard. If you like your life to be hard, do what's easy. But the greatest of all in your challenge, I want you to remember this from another speaker. And he said, everything is hard at first, messy in the middle, but gorgeous at the end.